on a Sunday morning. This is the one y'all was waiting for. I'm not waiting, I'm just making more. Plot it out, took the time, executed, good design, a finish line. Type of work, it's not done, just out of time. I'm feeling fine, long road, strong no, this a grind. This a climb for some of us, in and out, double dutch. Unpacking what they done to us, technology numbing us. Think about it, seen it coming up. Records broken, numbers running up. Competition having fun or what? 30 years coming up, haven't done enough. Prize dangling right in front of us. Better lies right up under us. How they rush the capital and run them up. Yeah, trying to raise capital for the month.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're back. No Ordinary Podcast. Episode 13. Songs on a Sunday morning. And as you see by the title, we got a little something different for y'all today. We're going through 10 actionable steps that you can take as an independent artist to expand your fan base. Yes, that is right. We'll go through them pretty quickly. All transparency, I have recorded this podcast a few times already, having technical difficulties. So we're going to try to get through this one and get on about our business. But yeah, y'all know the vibes. We're going to start off with a little bit of music from the Sonar Muse platform. Of course, that's the reason for this podcast, is to spread awareness to that Sonar Muse and to all the artists that are on the platform. All the music that you hear from those artists will be being paid real-time royalties through micro streaming. Yeah, that's why we're here. We want to shed light on the Web3 and blockchain music space, and we want to start to get artists off of the old legacy system and into the new one. So before we do start, make sure you do follow us on social medias, all socials at KD of the NOC. That's where you can find us. And make sure that you like the stream, comment down below. Yeah, y'all know how we like to start it off. We like to bring it up with your boy Killer Strider himself. Good for me. Let's get into it.
Good for me, good for you, good for them, good for us. Being comfortable's not enough, gotta keep it going up. Good for me, good for us, thank me later. We always in the cut. Good news, people snooze, why can't they be more attentive? They brush it off like lint on denim. Can't really be offended, I've already ascended. I ain't above none of y'all, I just see life differently. The world needs love, I feel so much sympathy. Face the music like a symphony, less talking, more listening. Watch my aura glow, see it glistening. Focus on yourself and not what's happening around you, cause it's bullshit we've been fed. Look how quick bullshit spreads. Try to think with your head and look ahead. You ain't using your brain, you're just a walking dead. And that's the difference between me and them, homie, we ain't them. You say you're a goat, well I'm an average man. That means you're sacrificial. Your music fake, you're artificial. Your art ain't official. No substance, you're superficial. Hit me up when it's beneficial. Nah, homie, I prefer my own company and being on my lonely. That's just how it is. Me and my money chilling at the crib. Life is a test, unexpected quiz. Flow on faucet, watch it drip. Keep an eye on the prize. I'll never slip with any slight inconvenience. You jump ship whilst I take control of the cockpit. Cause I got the ball, I'll never drop it. Work my ass off, I'm overclocking. You're always with hoes like stockings. Good for you, homie, but that's not it. Good for me, homie, cause I got this. Good for me, good for you, good for them, good for us. Being comfortable's not enough, gotta keep it going up. Good for me, good for us, thank me later. We always in the cut. Good for me, good for you, good for them, good for us. Being comfortable's not enough, gotta keep it going up. Good for me, good for us, thank me later. We always in the cut.
Negative to positive is Swiss gear. The audio Marciano, the richer gear. I think it's the year. I just froze my tears, stuck my flow in the fountain of youth, and I just dipped my toe in the water. Accompanied by somebody's daughter. My shit is like a reporter. All the shit that we smoking and all the shit that they snorted. You told me she the one and she told me mission aborted. It's in my face, I gotta ignore it. I'm trying to score, but post game I feel like it's more. I'm more a fan of this couple watching it get pulled up. You the hardest in your circle, but only your circle notice. Forgotten why you recorded ego bigger than Norris. orbits. Ball and chain, my mind insane and my rhymes the same. I guess I got impeccable aim. Learn with the range, I need my space. Book of the times just for the face. I'm better than my favorite at the age when that shit mattered to me most. So I toasted a memory of me and what they meant to a nigga. I'm trying to paint a picture of me. Satisfaction with reality, I done found me the key. Yeah, I'm up a sturdy cloth, cut and tucked to stretch and frustration. I'm in a dirty spot, I only knew a dirty cops. And every night I hit the store, they think we selling rocks. And I said somehow, some way, this shit gonna be alright. Even with me in the eyes at odds, I'm calmly eyeballing. You could swim to my island and have a Spalding on it.
Good for me, good for you, good for them, good for us. Being comfortable's not enough, gotta keep it going up. Good for me, good for us, thank me later. We always in the cut. Good for me, good for you, good for them, good for us. Being comfortable's not enough, gotta keep it going up. Good for me, good for us, thank me later. We always in the cut.
Get into this cryptocurrency, it's going up. You should join this cosmic wave with the team, be going up. Zaha and Angels, yeah, we doing things, bruh. Mail out NFTs and get you some cool stuff, yeah. Y'all better quit playing and join this wave is all I'm saying. These NFTs are going up. We ain't playing. Angels is the team and Killer on the beat. Goose Park on his vocal, yeah, this hit sound so unique. Zaha causing a ripple effect. Grab your team and let's board this jet. Right into the sunset, rolling up, creating art. Uploaded to the ledger, yeah, that's smart. 360 deal, that's a bad contract. Read and educate, don't get played. Money coming always. Dropping NFT, support me. Get your piece from me, I'ma lace you up. Goose the name, you know what's up. Zaha, they going up.
Yeah, I got my strap from Kansas. I'm a rappel through the canvas. I got it all for myself. I don't get all you're saying. I'm protesting my damn player. Here's some photos of the weekend. And then my hair. Pulling up on. You know that I'm dirty. Small eyes, my turn now. Start killing the bull. Does it the bull, but I go my one to do a more hard. Turn it up, please turn it on. Yeah, I'm fun to look at it. Take a look at it.
Feeling it sinking in. Feels like falling. I could just breathe you in. I could just breathe you in. I could just breathe
I let
you
these feelings start to sink in. Falling, I ain't slipping. Or racing, I ain't tripping. But you finna catch this business. Listen as I kick it. This life been kinda wicked. So kindness got me thinking that I should give it to these feelings. I ain't with the distance, but the silence more than vicious. So I'm action with my bronze son like fuck that it's delicious. My racing like I'm driven by hopes and my ambitions. The visions that I'm getting got me manifesting blessings. Finally accepted, we probably getting what we giving. So I'm giving my existence. All you gotta do is listen.
Feeling it sinking in. Feels like falling. I could just breathe you in. I could just breathe you in. I could just breathe you in.
got all these people all around me, but they nothing like you. Misunderstood beneath the surface when I'm seeking the truth. I kept the message in the bottle, it was all in the proof. And I saw ribbons in the sky when I be singing the blues. And when I first met you, I was paying them dues. Up in the street, she be smooth like your skin with tattoos. And she the type to promise everything from the jewels to all the money that's a secret to manipulate fools. I'm on the path of all destruction for a war that's now erupted. Mind and body's what they upped, and for your soul that's now corrupted.
Feeling it sinking in. Feels like falling. I could just breathe you in. I could just breathe you in. I could just breathe
She
you
got eyes
in.
like quicksand, feel me sinking in. Lately I've been feeling like I'm falling, but she got my hand. And I ain't trying to keep you, baby girl, but you want a man. But goddamn, baby girl, let me hold you down. And 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 let me hold you down.
Feeling it sinking in. Feels like falling. I could just breathe you in. I could just breathe you in. I could just breathe you in.
Chill, 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 chill. You know the vibes, man. That was Killer Strider, Good For Me at the top. We had Angels and Goose with We Going Up next. And then last was Sink In by Jules Audio. Welcome to the playlist, Jules. I'm liking that track. But yeah, let's get into our conversation today. As you see by the title, we're doing 10 ways that independent artists can help to grow their fan base. I felt like this was a good topic to discuss. Most artists do need this. A lot of the things that you do here as discussed, you have heard me mention on the cast before in different contexts. But I figured I could give it to us in one concise pod this time. So, yeah, number one, first thing, consistent content creation. And we've talked about this in a couple casts. As I've definitely expressed before, the whole podcast itself is a play in consistent content creation. My personal journey with content creation probably didn't start till about 2 or 3 years ago. Before that, I was strictly an artist that makes art and was not interested in whether anyone cared about that art, whether anyone viewed that art. It was definitely art for art's sake. I think the biggest turning point was looking up and then realizing, all right, I've been doing this for about 15, almost 20 years. And if I am going to just keep doing it anyway, then maybe I should focus a little bit on getting the reach out there and letting people hear. I consider myself to be very blessed in that I've done a lot. I performed over 100 shows. I've released over 100 songs. I've collabed with numerous and countless artists. So as far as needing or feeling like I needed to achieve something is not the case, or is never the case. But in order to get the label started, that I did start in 2020, and to be the head of that label, I think it was important to always practice what I preached. And if I'm gonna be asking the artists under the label to create content, then I need to definitely not only create content, but understand the process, the why, the how to get it done the best, most efficient way. So now, a few years into it, definitely understand the need. The biggest thing is going to keep you top of mind, right? If you're regularly releasing music, you can kind of do the same. But nowadays, with social media, everything's so short. You know, the attention span is short. All your videos are short. Even songs now. There's viral songs that you only know 10-15 seconds of the song, and if someone played the rest of the song, you wouldn't even have any idea that it was the same song. So um, I think now just releasing music is not necessarily the best thing to do unless your music is just out of this world. Um, which if that's the case, I can already tell you're probably already discovered and working under a label. For the rest of us, uh, not that we aren't talented or we don't have good music, but that's just not going to be enough in this day and age of short attention spans. And not only that, but just the amount of saturation in music in general. 10,000 plus songs uploaded to Spotify daily, and that's just Spotify. So if you added up all the different distribution platforms, I'm sure that number is well over 10,000 a day. So in order just to cut through the amount of noise that's in the market, you have to be consistent. Um, my best tips for being consistent, they still remain the same. As you see, I do the podcast. It's a long form play into short form. So I could take the cast, I could chop it up into smaller 30-second minute clips. And that right there gives me 3 to 5 pieces of content that I can put out a week. Um, the other thing I always tell artists to do is just meet yourself where you are. So don't overthink it. You don't have to go out and spend money and spend elaborate amount of time to create the content, especially not starting off when you're trying to get into the groove of content creation. My tip would definitely be to start small and just build that habit of releasing content. So don't go out of your way and do anything that you're not already doing. Simply put your camera up and video yourself doing the things that you are doing. So if you're an artist and you like to write in the studio, video yourself writing in the studio. If you love to record, video yourself recording. Um, I'm an engineer. Every time I have an artist over, I usually pull the camera out and I'm getting footage of me engineering the artist, amongst various other things that I'm already normally doing. And that's how I usually want to kind of create my content. I don't want to have to go out of the way and necessarily make elaborate plans in order to create the content. I want to fit it into my current lifestyle. And that seems to be, to me, the easiest way to get started. Once you kind of got that under your belt and you're in the habit of releasing content, you'll see it becomes a little bit easier to think out of the box and do some things that maybe aren't necessarily uh, just your normal habit of and routine as an artist. And the ideas will start to come to you as you just, like I said, get in the groove, get used to setting up the camera, being on camera, speaking on camera. um, just 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 don't make it a chore. It can become something that you resent, something that you dread doing, and that's not the way. If you notice any of the great content creators, you definitely notice that they seem to not only enjoy it, but it seems to be easy. They don't seem like they're pressing. It is a lot of work. I'm not going to act like it's not. But at the same time, make sure you're doing enjoyable things that you enjoy to create that content around. And I definitely think it gets a little bit easier from there. So from that tip to the next tip, number 2, which is in the same vein, make sure you're engaging with those fans on social media. So after you're putting out the content, use that content in order to start the conversation between you and potential fans. And you basically want to build those relationships. So anybody that comments, likes, uh, or just has any feedback on the things that you're doing, you want to make sure you engage them directly. Respond to all your comments, to your DMs. You can run question and answers. And that's easier to do now than ever, especially on social media. You can put a button up. What do you think of this? How do you like that? And yeah, that's putting out the content is one thing, but social media, the key word is social. That's the first word. So the media is the second word. So um, as far as just putting it out is one thing. It's a whole nother thing if you're actually connecting with the fans and interacting with the fans and basically letting them know that you appreciate them taking their time out to engage with your media. Um, but the connections that you can create through social media are unlike anything we've ever seen before. I definitely have fans from all over the world, and I try to engage as much as possible um, with anyone who engages my content. So I guess my challenge would be not only to just make sure that you're responding to every comment, every DM and like, but also that you're thanking them for their support, and do that after you get off the episode. Message 5 people that have commented on your stuff lately, and thank them for their support, and I guarantee you'll see that it only strengthens the connection that you have between you and your fellow artists. Speaking of fellow supporters and fellow artists, the next tip would definitely be to use social media and that building relationships not only with fans but with other artists. So um, as you start to get on social media and start putting out content, naturally you probably already see your feed flooded with other artists who are doing similar. And any of those people that you do see are doing a similar thing, reach out and see if they would like to collab. See how you can work together. uh, Me personally, I just like to see how I can support. A lot of times, I'll see somebody going through something online or as an artist, and my first thing will be I'll leave a comment or DM, hey, let's connect and let's see where I can support, where we can support each other, and where we can help each other to build to the next level. And I'll tell you why. The number one reason why you shouldn't be afraid to do this is because you don't make 100% of the shots that you don't take. So don't worry about the fear of rejection or that artist maybe not wanting to work with you because you don't have enough followers or they don't like your music. A lot of times you'll be very surprised at how responsive people are, especially other artists that are in the same boat. They're just like you, and they're looking for new content, new ways to create new content, and having someone to collab with is an easy way to kind of expand the horizon of your content. So um, you can once you have collaborated with 1 or 2 people, it'll make it easier. You've gone through the process. That nervousness of hitting somebody up for the first time will kind of die down. Um, and at that point, you can start focusing on collaborations that align more closely with your brand and your music style. At first, I would say collab with as many people as possible, as many artists as possible, and then as you kind of get into that habit, niche down and try to find collaborations that really align with your style and your brand. Um, and and about and people that you can build synergy with and grow, people that you naturally gravitate towards. And I guarantee you, like if you have 100 followers and that person has 300 followers, you're gonna get a few followers. Both sides are gonna gain a couple followers from collaborating. Um, and it's an easy way to excuse me, to leverage extra content, because now that you've made that collaboration with somebody, now for you to like or share, especially share their content, it's not far-fetched, right? You have a relationship with the person, and now maybe instead of posting 3 times to your story today, you can post twice, and then you can repost one of their posts on their story. So um, collaboration is not only a way to build relationships with other artists, but it's also another way to expand the amount of content that you're able to put out. So um, that's going to lead us into our next tip, number 4, which is going to be leveraging digital marketing. So um, all of the social media aspects of content creation is is so important, because in the day and age of marketing, the point of marketing is you want to reach as many people as possible, and obviously you want to do this as cheap as possible. And now with social media, there is a way to do that, as a way to do it effectively and efficiently, and that's through digital marketing. So um, if you're not ready to make the jump into paying for ads or paying for advertisements, um, I would definitely say then, up your content game and make sure that you are, posting more regularly than most. That's the only way to kind of combat not putting money into your marketing. At this point, with as many artists that there are and as many people that are trying to break through into a mainstream situation, you have to almost put money into the digital marketing because they are because the field is. All the other artists out here are actively investing in themselves and in their brands and putting money into ads, not only on Instagram and Facebook, but on YouTube. You can run Google ads. There's a ton of different places that you can, throw a couple dollars a week, uh, a day, and start building some traction. The most important part about ads that you have to kind of understand is ads can basically give you great data, and once you get that data back, you can really hone those ads in, and they can work for you even better. So if you're first starting out with digital marketing, try to hone down your audience into who you think likes your style, your music, your brand. Start with that, and then as you gain the data, you want to really hone in. And even a lot of the platforms, even from that data, will allow you to create what they call lookalike audiences, where you can actually take all of the people that have engaged with your ads and you can market only to those people with similar interests, likes, and tastes. And that's where the real power of putting money behind ads is, because now the algorithm can weed out a lot of the random people that wouldn't be interested in your content. And now your money's only working towards people that are almost like a hot lead. They're almost already interested in what you'll be doing because of their aligned interests in your lookalike audiences. So um, there's different strategies, demographic wise and SEO strategies, and all of that stuff can get you in the weeds a little bit. But what I would say is, if you do have a small budget, start putting a couple bucks a day towards trying to kind of figure out where your audience is, and to be able to grab that data and start creating lookalike audiences that you can really hone in on, and make real good efficient use of those marketing dollars. So um, I know you hate to hear it. I would say consistency is more important than the amount of money that you put in at first. Um, and it's the same thing if with content. If you haven't started creating content, just create a ton of content, and kind of figure out what works first. And then as you see what works, hone in on that, and then you can almost create and cultivate a brand out of what you see working, what people are engaging with. And then honestly, after you find that piece of content, that's the content you want to run ads behind, right? So you want to start broad, niche down, and then pump that money into what already works as a plan and strategy for your digital marketing. So um, number 5, perform live. Not only perform live, but also perform virtually, since we are talking about the digital world as well. Performing live is the best way to really gain followers out of social media, out of content, out of all of these different ways. If you really want to gain a fan, if you want to gain somebody that's really interested in you and your journey for a long period of time, when you're performing, when they see you live, when you share an experience with them, that is definitely going to be the best way to hook them and have them follow your journey for a long period of time. I can't tell you how many times that somebody comes up to me at a show, and they say, well, I actually saw you at this show, and now they're at this other show. So um, it's really the same type of deal. Once you have someone that is willing to 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 spend their hard-earned money to come see you, you know you have a hot lead. You know you have somebody that's willing to not only engage but spend money into building your brand. Those are the fans, the real fans that are going to mean something, and they're going to be worthwhile. I want to say it's like a 80-20 rule or something like that, where it's 20 per 20 80% of your income will come from 20% of your fans. So finding that 20% of people, that core 20% is really where you want to hone in. And I guarantee that core 20% are the ones that are coming to see you perform live. But same for virtual, right? If you don't have the means, or if you're in an area where there's not a lot going on virtually, then definitely, or sorry, not a lot going on in the physical world, then definitely look into the virtual world. There's no reason why you can't perform online nowadays. um, and those performances are just as good. Not only are they just as good, but you can get a bigger audience online than you could ever fit in a venue. So if you leverage it correctly, then those virtual performances could be more beneficial. I would say that one big thing for both of those is that don't just hone in on the performance, right? Yes, you're there to perform. Yes, you want to put on a good show. You want people to like what you're doing. But what can be more effective, literally, is just engaging with people. So after you get off the stage, walking around, talking to as many people as you can, trying to touch them, creating an experience, creating a relationship, a bond with people, beyond just the music and beyond the stage. They want to see that you're a real person. They want to see that you're relatable. They want to see that you're like them. So be approachable, be relatable, not only just at live shows, but also at virtual shows. When you're done with the show, go into the chat room, chat it with as many people as you can, engage with as many people as you can, because that's what people really remember. That's what all of this is really about. It's that connection that you're making between people, especially people that are trying to kind of escape their own life and get their mind off those things, and they want to kind of engage and come into your world. So make sure that you're open and transparent, and you allow them to do that. Um, that can be a real big game changer, for anyone that's new as an artist and trying to get some traction. Um, so yeah, that's the first five. We're gonna take a little quick music break, and then we'll get back into the next five tips. Hope you're enjoying it so far. Uh, but yeah, let's get back into this music. Songs on a Sunday morning, powered by Sonar Muse. You know the vibes.
Al pelo sin condón se lo metí. Su novio es un lens, su novio un wannabe. Esa puta like what do you mean? Dinero alto like Yao Ming. I estoy high gracias a Lin. Lo pego con una Alex. Primera con Yansha. Hola mam, otra mamá. Sí man, hijo de puta mamá. Puto imbécil de mierda. I don't play the games, you think get out that. Panic on that bass, taking all these perks. You fellas better run, tienen que googlear. No me importa nada, come up that bitch. Yeah, racks on my back, stacks on my back. Running with my flaws, going crazy on IKEA. Shit on bugs, pienso que es mi bugs. Yo me meto un paso con tu hermana, me paso. Bitch ready, electro steady, siempre when fuck. Para no tener nada, explícame lo que pasa. Estamos en el forno, tengo una buena skin. Esa hoe no me conoce, no es para mí. People me reconoce, me pide una pic. Van, shawty me habla porque subo y es un mix. Tenemos un arma en condena, eso no hace lead. Ho, no me hables mal, intentaba prevenir todo. Es muy temprano y ya te quiere ir, more. Lo único que necesitas es una buena pic, bro. Digo, una shawty con me quiere comer. Todos los días de la mano vamos a animar. Todo eso nada quiere una hot. Lo que tengo ella quiere medio de una vez.
And what time you gonna fly in, homie? Alright, that's what's up. Peace, God. I'll see you there. I'm with my guys and my homies on a business trip. Ain't nobody being petty, we ain't finna trip. No time for chicken heads, better get your honey dip. I'm all about my bag, like a potato chip. Hold up, wait a minute, give me my flowers. Respect, money, and that power. Envious cowards comes with the territory. I know your story and that shit's boring. My grand is rising and I don't want no good mornings. We capitalizing, raise against the machine and catch a fade with the system, and then we get faded with green. Nah, I mean, it's essential we stay with the team. Godspeed like trees when it's time to
Smoking
leave.
loud, I'm in the clouds. I'm so high, I'm not coming down. No Bobby Brown, oh no yard. Business tripping town to town with the boys, smoking down your boulevard. Yeah, we might drink rum, cognac or Long Island iced tea. Sharing well, eating on some fruits and veggies. Damn, he scored again. That boy, man, sassy. It doesn't take much to get your act together. If you can do better, then my nigga do better. Get you a team that's gonna ride for any weather. Celebrate success, weed out negatives and soft threats till we board them jets. That's the life, sacrificing for what's right. And what you believe in is always a win. As long as it makes sense, then my nigga, it makes sense. Yeah, my God and goddesses, we are heaven sent. Never settle for less, and stop saying that we blessed. Take a second to guess, are we truly blessed? I never wanted to be a part of this mess, but look me here, so let's make the best of our time. We only got a few hours, sun's going down. What we trying to do? Let's clean up our community, and it starts with me and you. Time we dip and hit the strip. We can't afford to be out too long on this business trip. Yeah. Smoking loud, I'm in the clouds. I'm so high, I'm not coming down. No Bobby Brown, oh no yard. Business tripping town to town with the boys, smoking down your boulevard. Yeah, we might drink rum, cognac or Long Island iced tea. Sharing well, eating on some fruits and veggies. Damn, he scored again. That boy, man, sassy.
Get your bread up, pick your head up. You got to get your bread up. But we ain't eating crumbs. Get your bread up, pick your head up. You got to get your bread up. But we ain't eating crumbs. Better come with a whole loaf. So dope, make an overdose. Peel off with a new ghost. Better come with a whole loaf. So dope, make an overdose. Peel off with a new ghost. No crumbs on our table. It's a lifestyle and we stable. True story, no fable. We got horses up in them stables. If they buffet line going outside, they serving up all the labels. Stay connected to the bigger picture, cause the boss connected like cables. To the mental office, we high up. The fly is high, you gon' need it up. The rest is just getting nauseous. That's why they be throwing up. All the information go nowhere while we lean back like a lawn chair. Touch your grass on the top floor. That's how I like my lawn care. Try to get your bread up. Pick your head up. You got to get your bread up. But we ain't eating crumbs. Get your bread up. Pick your head up. You got to get your bread up. But we ain't eating crumbs. Better come with a whole loaf. So dope, make an overdose. Peel off with a new ghost. Better come with a whole loaf. So dope, make an overdose. Peel off with a new ghost. Swoop down like I'm Daffy. You better hide all your Daphnes. I'm stimulating like caffeine. Too fast, you never gon' pass me. Better jumping off in that backseat or go and wave you a taxi. You meant to now on OPM to avoid all of those gas fees. The way they passing the baton, you would think that they was in a track meet. If birds fly down south for winter, catch me in Miami on a jet ski. Rock in a Prezi or go and rest in the suite. I'm getting beat, but I think she in love with duck meat. Gotta get your bread up. Pick your head up. You got to get your bread up. But we ain't eating crumbs. Get your bread up. Pick your head up. You got to get your bread up. But we ain't eating crumbs. Better come with a whole loaf. So dope, make an overdose. Peel off for the new ghost. Eating crumbs.
Young nigga rockin' the starter, scraping no change for the martyr. Rather a phone, chop on sawing than a set up for a charger. I stay on deck with the ganja, mix up with ratchet and proper. Very important, I'ma keep scoring in the A way before Zaza. Young nigga rockin' the starter, scraping no change for the martyr. Rather a phone, chop on sawing than a set up for a charger. I stay on deck with the ganja, mix up with ratchet and proper. Very important, I'ma keep scoring in the A way before Zaza. Kill the proceeding with leech and things ran its course. Kindness for blind and timing was perfect, cause niggas is lurking. Scheming the treatment, both to me wasn't pleasant for certain. Shows over close curtains, gin roll, let me burn it. Usher Raymond sticking your dick in that bitch who thought she was famous. Lamest turns, you caught the worm, catch me on ocean of skating. Rat race, but I'm pacing. Peru fucking with the translations. In the A before Air Rudolph, and one mix that great poupon, Carter one. My girl remind you of Solange, over your head what she says go beyond. Her roots very African, boxy boy, pussy go long, killed the challenge, so gone. Old school, bitch on the bond, you from the A if you still saying crumb. Young nigga rockin' the starter, scraping no change for the martyr. Rather a phone, chop on sawing than a set up for a charger. I stay on deck with the ganja, mix up with ratchet and proper. Very important, I'ma keep scoring in the A way before Zaza. Young nigga rockin' the starter, scraping no change for the martyr. Rather a phone, chop on sawing than a set up for a charger. I stay on deck with the ganja, mix up with ratchet and proper. Very important, I'ma keep scoring in the A way before Zaza. Fabrics on Nautica, Cartier with the optical, sophisticated Southside, ratchet philosophical. T.O. sounds I be bobbing to. Haters everywhere we go. Old school Bobby Ray told you I been in the A. It wasn't predominantly gay. I blame that shit on the CDC yet again. You watch Trump and The Apprentice. Turn the field for the fences. No PDs. Probably smoking weed. Been in the major leagues. We be burning, not concerned with what nobody gonna say. On their garden to New York, I've been residing in the A. If I'm lying, then I'm flying. Folks turn they back every day. Recognize it. Folks come in disguises again. We be burning, not concerned with what nobody gonna say. On their garden to New York, been residing in the A. If I'm lying, then I'm flying. Folks turn they back every day. Recognize it. Folks come in disguises. Young nigga rocking the starter, scraping no change for the martyr. Rather a phone, chop on sawing than a set up for a charger. I stay on deck with the ganja, mix up with ratchet and proper. Very important, I'ma keep scoring in the A way before Zaza. Young nigga rocking the starter, scraping no change for the martyr. Rather a phone, chop on sawing than a set up for a charger. I stay on deck with the ganja, mix up with ratchet and proper. Very important, I'ma keep scoring in the A way before Zaza.
Yeah. Wow. What is? Boom, shakalaka, boom. Boom, shakalaka, boom.
Yes, sir, Bob. You know the vibes, man. You know the vibes. That was Zaza by Lemmy and Tio. Played that one for my boy T Smooth. He liked that one. That was No Crumbs before that by Duckset and the Diploquacks. Business Trip by Goose Park. And before that, my man John Shaw and Alex. We got a blast. Hope y'all liking the tunes, man. Y'all know the vibes. We doing this every Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Let's get back into the topic though. So we're discussing 10 ways that artists can grow their fan base. And we went through the first five for a little recap. First thing was consistent content creation, followed by making sure we're engaging with the fans on social media. Number three was collaborating with other artists. Number four was leveraging digital marketing. And number five was live and virtual performances. So to get into number six, the next topic is it's where I would say I am on my journey. It's kind of where I've been focusing lately, um, and trying to figure out a way to do this effectively, not only for myself but for the artists that are underneath me. So number six is going to be developing a unique brand identity. So my brand itself, No Ordinary, right? Um, Basically, it's a play on a group that I was in, No Ordinary Cats, and obviously from the name of the group, No Ordinary, um, the whole brand is just about being different. So the group was composed actually of four rappers, three rappers and a singer, myself. And we were all very different, very unique styles. We came from very different backgrounds and cultures. There was a Jewish guy, a Dominican guy, a white guy from Atlanta, and then myself. So it was a very eclectic group. And then, having multiple rappers in a group in the time that we came out wasn't as common as it may have been in the past. So the fact that we were four very different artists, almost more like four solo artists that meshed together, creating the brand No Ordinary was kind of easy. A lot of the things that we did were not ordinary as well. Um, I think on one of the earlier podcasts with JL, we talked about how when we performed, we had a couch on the stage. We actually had a couch, a TV, and a video game console set up. So JL was usually sitting on the couch playing video games. And then we would also have different fans come up to the stage and actually sit on the couch and play video games with us while we were performing. Not only that, but we had everything from uh, magic tricks. We had DJs. We had flamethrowers. We had all kind of different types of things that were on stage with us when we performed. So a big thing that we did definitely try to harp on was not having any performance be the same. So we tried to typically do a fully different set list every time. Um, and then I think ironically our marketing strategy ended up being No Ordinary. So we were in the age of social media just beginning, and I don't know if necessarily, I know as artists we didn't necessarily have the foresight to kind of see where it was going. Uh, our manager at the time, Skinny Buddha, who I mentioned quite frequently on the show, he actually had a very good idea of where he thought the space was going and how we could leverage social media and just online presence in general. And he was very, very, very adamant about doing that. And we kind of just pushed back. Just we didn't understand it. We weren't open to it. We came from a different era. And I guess the idea of what an artist and an artist brand should look like. Thankful for him now, of course, 20 years later, and kind of looking back and kind of understanding uh, what's possible with the online space. But I would definitely say that our marketing strategy was a little bit No Ordinary. We did have a sponsorship through Vitamin Water for a few years, which was very nice. They paid us a little stipend. We had to do so many shows a year in certain areas, which I really thought was one of the better um, marketing promotions that we kind of had. And not only marketing, but we had a sponsorship. So we had access to some different things, different shows, to reach different audiences. And I think what Vitamin Water was doing at the time did fit well with our brand. But as far as taking the time to sit down and really think about and cultivating a true brand identity, it was something that I don't think we ever did. As I've been solo, it's been something that obviously I've had to think about, something that I've had to really pay attention to, and time spent to. And so, like I said, that's kind of where I am on my journey now. The brand is still no ordinary. I still want to make sure everything that I'm doing is unique. It's a little bit different off the beaten path. Um, but I think the no ordinary brand in itself lends very well for anyone just to be themselves. You know, if you're truly authentically yourself, it's not going to be ordinary to anyone else. So I don't think it's an identity that I have to really try to cultivate. It's kind of like when I say that the podcast really doesn't have a set style or a set format. Things are very open. You've probably seen 4 or 5 different types of podcasts that I've done so far, from interviews on topics that span, artist repertoire, what's popular with Jo, which is just more about what's going on in the industry. Obviously, Sonar Muse Sunday is on the songs on a Sunday morning, um, and we'll be doing other things such as this cast that are a little bit more designed as far as actionable, workable tips for people. So um, the big part of my brand is definitely artistry. It's creativity, music, photo, video, um, media in general, production in general. That's the overall arching uh, thing that holds all of my brand together. And then on top of that, what I've cultivated is that supporting other artists is very big to my brand. So support is a verb. Is something that I've grown to believe in so adamantly, that anytime I'm online, I'm reaching out to people and just offering support. A lot of my content you'll see in the content, reach out, let's connect. Supporting each other is the most important thing. That's for me. I found the best, easiest way to build relationships, and it's something that I actually get a lot of joy out of doing. So, um, when it comes to my unique brand identity, that's what it's centered around. It's centered around the arts, and it's centered around helping others. So, those are the pillars of what I want. So make sure that you're basically taking the time to cultivate the way that you want to present yourself visually, creatively. Um, as you see, the NOC, branding, right? Identity, creativity, and just trying to make sure that overall your brand kind of stays cohesive. Um, as far as a certain style, if you are artist and you're pushing to be a top artist, then yes, you need to be thinking about visually your style. Um, have somebody on your team that's consistently thinking about your messaging, and making sure that the visual and what you're saying are not only matching, but they are also cohesive with the music that you're putting out, or the art that you are putting out. Um, make sure that everything that you're trying to do, you want your personality and your brand to kind of be in the forefront. Um, right now, one of the artists that I'm working with, his name's SKL. I think I've mentioned to him before. He's a Christian artist out of Orlando, and what I found with him is that the brand and identity thing is a lot easier. Whenever you have that focused central theme of Christianity, of his relationship with God, that has made the branding, you know, very very simplified. Um, you have that big round brand that you can just find little small little tethers to. One thing that he does, he wears a lot of fishing hats. He wears t-shirts with the cargo shorts. He's a dad, he's a family man. Um, he's down to earth. He's relatable. He's not one of the holier than thou Christians. He wants to share his struggle and his story with everyday things. All of these are things that we basically focus on and build his brand around, and we kind of want to make sure that's adjacent. It is nice in a business meeting whenever there is a clear brand identity, because it makes no's very easy. A lot of times as an artist, you'll run across a lot of opportunities, and it's easy just to, you want to say yes because you want to do as much as possible. But whenever he has that clear identity, it makes a lot of the no's easier. Somebody wants him to go perform at a strip club, it's not happening. Um, we actually had a very large company that is a Christian-based company that asked, if we'll be interested in performing. That's an easy yes. Having a clear, defined brand can not only help communicate to your audiences, but it can also help communicate to other businesses and brands that want to do business with you as well. So making sure that you develop that unique brand identity, especially right now in a marketing based as entertainment has become, it's going to be something that's very, very important, and you should definitely spend, I would say, a good bit of your time thinking about. Um, I know it's the last thing that artists want to think about, but just taking that time to write some things down, jot some things down, will really kind of clear up a lot of the gray areas that you have as far as what you want to do with your content, with your look, with the way that you engage with people. Just trying to make sure all of that lines up. So on to the next. The next tip is going to be actually another one that I'm really working on with SKL a lot, which is building an email list. So SKL is a new artist. He's released music in the past, but nothing major. But at some point, he kind of wiped all of the music that he had put out offline. So we're basically starting over, starting fresh. And one thing that I kind of want to impart on him very quickly was, hey, you don't have a fan base. So yes, we can. We spent 3-4 months and we put together a 7-song EP, and that's great and all, but when it comes to actually putting the music out, it's important to have a core group of people that you can put the music out to. So right now, our focus is creating content, and while we are creating that content, we are establishing that small core group of people to release the music to. So we do have an email list set up, Katie of the NOC Records /SKL. You can sign up for it there. But what we're trying to get is what we talked about earlier. When you're kind of testing, when you're new and you're testing out your art, your music, your content, you want a group of people to get you started with that you can test that too, and then you can start to gain feedback from that, and then you can start to direct market to certain people. So it's important not to just have music and just to drop it. If you take the time and you focus on building a community, building a group of fan base, and gathering their data, it's going to make this whole process a lot easier. With social media, the algorithms can change. Some of these platforms, God forbid, they could go under. That means everybody that's a friend on Facebook or everybody that's a follower on Instagram could instantly be gone. And where are you starting your fan base from then? So being able to take people off social media, gain their data, either their email or their phone number, is super important, and it's something that you would own at that point. The power of being able to directly email or communicate with the listener or the fan is of the utmost importance right now. I know for me, I get 100 emails a day. But a lot of times, once you see that email come through 2, 3, 10 times, you're top of mind. I think sales, they usually save somewhere between like 8 and 13 touches before you usually get a sale. So that means you need to come across that person's screen into their mind 8 to 13 times before you can expect them to kind of spend money with you. So being top of mind is important, and then having that direct form of communication is what makes that a little bit easier. Um, I would say one of the easiest ways to collect emails is what we'll talk about next, which is tip number 8, offering exclusive content for fans, right? So anytime that you can offer something exclusive to people, it incentivizes them to at least make another click on their phone or on the web page. I always tell people it's hard to get a click. It's hard to get a like. It's hard to get somebody to go off the platform they are on and onto another platform to and fill out a form. So a lot of times incentivizing them either through exclusive content or even exclusive products, merch, things like that can be effective ways to actually get someone to go onto your website and fill out that email form. Um, you basically want to think of something that you can do that's different from what you're doing for just the general public, right? You want to make them feel special. So it could be an early release to a song, it could be behind the scenes footage, it could be fan only merchandise, anything that can kind of make the fan feel like they're getting something other than what everybody is getting. And of course, there's tons of ways to do this. Not only could you set up an email list, right? You could do something like a Patreon that has the tiered out levels of loyalty to fans. And there's plenty of CRMs and systems. If you're looking for one that does something like this, please hit us up at IG Clout. Um, but but basically setting up some kind of fan loyalty through that email list and making sure that you're incentivizing and giving back to the people that are taking that extra step to follow you is big. Which leads us into number 9, networking. Um, and when it comes to networking, I've the reason why I say that last tip leads in is because I've recently started networking within the last 2 years very, very heavily. And two things that I found. The first thing that I found was that whenever you have something to offer people, it's a lot easier to network with people. Um, when you're just walking up and you're just selling yourself, it's a little bit tough. But when you do have something that you can lean on and an incentive to people, that makes networking a lot easier. It's easier to break the ice. Whenever you come into those conversations, you come into them with a little bit more confidence, knowing that you're not just there just to try to gain something from somebody else, but that you're there to try to offer something to someone else and help someone else. Can be a big game changer in your networking mind frame. The other thing that I found is for a long time I was going to networking events that were exclusively music based. And this is something that I think artists have to kind of get out of the mindset of. When you go into these music based rooms, a lot of times you're all offering the same thing, which is not bad. It's not terrible if you're trying to collaborate, if you're trying to build relationships, uh, with maybe higher ups in the industry. These can be good things. But what I do tend to notice is that when I started going to events that were actually outside of music, it was a lot easier to stand out in more business professional settings. When I was networking on behalf of the label instead of networking on behalf of just myself as an artist, um, it, it 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 put me in some rooms that were very unique, and I tended to be the only person in the room that was a creative. Most of the people were more business people. So so in that sense, my story kind of stood out a little bit more. A friend of mine once told me he's a DJ, and he kind of mentioned that as a DJ, when you walk into a room, the thing that you can sell is an experience. Most people don't have that experience of being able to be on a stage and in front of a crowd and getting them hyped and coming off and everybody loving you. And um, a lot of times business people like to be around something that they don't have necessarily access to. They have all the money in the world, all the resources, but they really never experience something like artist or creative kind of experiences. So that works to a certain extent, but whenever you come into the room with something to offer from a business sense, right? It's a total different thing. And now every room that you walk into, when you come into it with a business proper incentive, uh, it makes it powerful, and walking into those rooms is a lot easier. Networking with those people is a lot easier. Like I said, you're more confident, and you have a truer um, a truer connection with someone whenever you're not just trying to gain something from them, and you're practicing reciprocity, and you're trying to offer them something, trying to offer them help. It's a lot smoother. So two things I would definitely say is not only just networking in general, but network outside of necessarily just creatives and just music. And a lot of times in those rooms you'll stand out, way more. Um, so that brings us to our last tip, and our last tip is going to be something that you've heard a million times, right? But be yourself. I think that's the theme that I've tried to carry throughout all of these tips is be yourself. Only you can drive your brand into the place where it needs to go, because only you know the needs, know the wants, know the dreams of that brand, know the vision of that brand. Um, but if you can find a way to take that time to really think about your brand, your vision, put that into words, and you can unapologetically walk into rooms and just tell your story, sell yourself through that brand vision, everything else falls in line. Once you start to get outside of yourself, that's when the content gets hard, right? That's when the networking gets hard. That's when the marketing gets hard. Everything tends to line up a little bit better if you are yourself. Finding that brand identity gets hard. Um, so number 10 is stay true to yourself, because the authenticity is what people relate to. It's what they grab to. Um, like I said, they're taking an escape from their life, and they want to be able to get into yours. And in order to do that, you have to be able to sell it. And I guarantee you, the only thing that you'll truly authentically be able to sell is going to be yourself. And if you are, trying to be something that you're not, it's probably not really going to work out the best for you. So we can recap real quick, right? Number one, consistently create content. Number two, engage on social media. Number three, collaborate with other artists. Number four, leveraging digital marketing. Number five, performing live and virtually. Number six, developing that brand identity. Number seven, building an email list. Number eight, offering exclusive content. Number nine, networking in and outside of our industry. And then number 10, making sure that we're authentically staying true to ourselves. If you do all 10 of these things, I guarantee you'll have a great start as far as building a fan base. If you are a current artist that has a fan base, these things will help you expand your fan base. Can't tell you how many few artists I hear that have an email list that can directly market to their fans, and the amount of artists that are actively doing social media content is very low. So all of these tips are small things that can get you there. So make sure when you're off this live, don't just take the tips down. Make sure you grab a couple and focus on those next. Hit me up in the comments if you need help with any of those. If you want to brainstorm, if you need some support. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and share the podcast. That's going to be about it. Of course, we'll get into our sponsors. Shout out to Sonar Muse. As always, thank you for this platform. Thank you for what you're doing in the Web3 blockchain music space. Shout out SkinnyBooty.com, lifestyle brand out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. They do art, music, content, blogs. Make sure you check them out. Of course, 96.7 WTEG, Tracks Entertainment, online radio station. That's my brother. If you're a brand or if you're an artist that are looking for a little bit more exposure, even international exposure, they do advertisements all day long. So make sure you hit them up. And then last but not least, IG Cloud out of Orlando, Florida, CRM social media marketing company. If you do have any needs in those areas, make sure you hit us up. The links will be below. And yeah, that's going to do it for this week. We're going to end off with another round of music. But of course, we will be back next week, same time, same place. Songs on a Sunday morning, 9 a.m. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Salute. We out.
I just blew another bag on some Louboutin spikes. Yeah, I got bags on my eyes, had a lot of sleepless nights. Yeah, I just separated my shorty, put her wrists on ice. I be copping what I want, now you looking at the price. You do what you want, you poppin'. I can switch up style, I got options. Even with all this, I like something that's missing. Lost all my friends, I love them from a distance. That's what comes with the lifestyle. That's what comes with the lifestyle. Yeah, that's what comes with the lifestyle. Lot of fakes, they came and they went. So worried about what's in my pockets and how much I spend. Yeah, damn, and they've been there ever since the beginning. And then they got me where I am, so they need a percentage. Soon as you successful, they gon' envy you. Once I forgot about you, gon' remember you. Seem like y'all ain't spoken centuries, faded memories. Bad energy is all they bringing me. People ringing me, blowing up my phone. And they just sex for long. Just for relax, then you know that they go. But that's what comes with the lifestyle. That's what comes with the lifestyle. Yeah, that's what comes with the lifestyle.
Crispy nigga, you can never miss me. My color living wild, don't address me. She paid me for a feature to come dress me. She said she want my number for her bestie. Mustard on her shirt, it was an S's party. You know I popped a Molly and just took the party. All my flips and only VG like the Hardys. I'll probably pop it down just to calm the party. Ooh, yeah, I could fix a crash. Never one-on-one. Do my other mans. He send another man. Then I do my dance. All these full bags. All these full bags. When I pull up, a nigga making a scene. Find me at the club, you know I'm here for the green. Been a hustler, that's straight in my jeans. Pockets too stuffed, guess I wore the wrong jeans. I got gold like you saying, she give me top that's too brainy. Top and up with new chains, had to add new bezels. Yeah, they mad, got them seeming like a boiling kettle. I got successful and relapsed, I realized successful. Yeah, all these bros acting like they slang like us, like they gang like us. Whole gang got a bus, she a fiend for the Zanny. It's a party on my bus, got a grip inside the bus, and my wrist is just to bust. All these bros acting like they slang like us, like they gang like us. Whole gang got a bus, she a fiend for the Zanny. It's a party on my bus, got a grip inside the bus, and my wrist is just to bust. My gang got two rollies inside a double R. I say reaching for the moon just to see the stars. Became the man on the moon, gave him Zans on the moon. Then my daughter's honeymoon, type of rapper that can make him at your boom, ooh yeah. Type of rapper that your girl she listen to, ooh yeah. And she tweeting every time that she play me. She an option, but she trying to have a baby, yeah. And I got the biggest smile when I'm in the bank. I don't play around when it come to making bank. If we gotta do it, then let's go for a drink. Heard you gotta shoot up, but all this shit is black, all this shit is black. All these bros acting like they slang like us, like they gang like us. She a fiend for the Zanny and she put it in her cup. Got that liquor, now she up, and my wrist is like, what's up, Yeah, all these bros acting like they slang like us, like they gang like us. Whole gang got a bus, she a fiend for a Zanny. It's a party on my bus, got her clip inside the bus, and my wrist is just too bust. All these bros acting like they slang like they gang like us. Whole gang got a bus, she a fiend for a Zanny. It's a party on my bus, got her clip inside the bus, and my wrist is just a bust. And my wrist is just a bust.
Okay. True hustlers utilize grind. Take on every little time to get our future into line, boy. Cause crypto season's on the rise. Better wake up and be a part of this, so hit that ass left behind, boy. Got me out here doing it for the follow. So one day we can be riding smooth in the Lamborghini Gallardo. And we gave away a lot Pronto. Cause we got places to be and people to see to be on the grind mode. Trillionaire, THUGs, all on the scene. Also the greens, put in the work and be going hard as a team. We are chasing the dream. And you best to believe we all rise to the cream and keep doing that thing. The community demonstrates unity, oh it's a beautiful thing. And we're not slowing down, my son. We going to the moon and it gon' be soon when we go touchdown, my son. Cheers. With the diamond hands at my son. We gotta kick back, sit and relax till we get them gas, my son. That's what's up. If I wanna be a trillionaire, I'm gonna be a trillionaire, boy. If I wanna be a trillionaire, I'm gonna be a trillionaire, boy. If I wanna be a trillionaire, I'm gonna be a trillionaire, boy. If I wanna be a trillionaire, I'm gonna be a trillionaire. Let's go. Surrounded by go-getters, experts who talk business. The people who know the assignment, similar when it comes to the wish list. So we just gon' get up and get it. All the way to the bank, we be laughing. We coming and taking the number one spot on the market, and that's the motherfucking target. It really will push up the 4P. I'm not letting go for a long time. I'm here to grab the community, so we can collaborate. Like minds that you concentrate. Hustle hard until we dominate, and even don't stop, then we keep on grinding. Hey. We'll keep on climbing to the top. Trillionaire thugs gonna be the hottest on the block. And we all grinding for that spot. So we all doing the toast live in Dubai, cause we're popping. Hey. If I wanna be a trillionaire, I'm gonna be a trillionaire, boy. If I wanna be a trillionaire, I'm gonna be a trillionaire.
Demons in my head, I feel like no one else care about my name. Tats on my neck, bitches coming next. I lost for money, that's not what you get. Yeah, most days supports me, but no shit me death. I don't trust nobody, so I don't trust myself. I don't feel love, when I smoke some blunts, bitch that they both die.
Todo lo que dijiste lo tiraste más. Don't wanna feel bad. Yeah, I don't wanna feel bad. I don't wanna feel bad. I don't wanna feel bad. Yeah.
No sirree, Bobby Hemming. No Egypt, more like Kemet. I said we the real Jews. They said I was anti-Semitic. No sirree, Ricky Bobby. I ain't racing no zombies. Neither pocket watching. XR paid is my hobby. No sirree, Bob Marley. Young dreadlock Rastafari. Out the trenches for real. Triangular trapping tsunami. No sirree, Bob Dylan. This industry want my spirit. Think it's cap if you want. Go watch him on 60 Minutes. No sirree, Bob Saget. Pedophilia tragic. Don't care if they was real sisters. That full house you could have it. No sirree, Bob Barker. Prison industrial started. His price was always right. Don't drop his souls, bro, regardless. No sirree, Bobby Schmurder. Blood tie dye and no burger. Kill all these old habits. It's time to rise with a purpose. No sirree, Bobby Orr. Power play up the score. Atlanta thrashing the beat so hard. Them Rangers on your board. No siree, Bobby Brown. I do that by the pound. No Whitney by the key. The gangster belong to me. We know that it's red. You got Fiale low from the pigs. No siree, by my sponge, you Squidwards. On my dictatorship like Hitler. It's World War III. And no say, can you see my country tizzy? They tried to mentally imprison me, physically and spiritually. I'm a god, you can't mimic me. Clone to the throne, I'm back to the bone. But bad, I'm XRP, let's drop to the jet. In the jungle with lambs, no more meat, so I can't go ham. When XRP past $1,000, y'all gonna be begging me to be some fans. Like my ceiling fan in Taipei, I'ma look at you like you speak Chinese. I'm a mothership over the 7 seas, that's my brand new highway. No lanes for HOV, I got some CBD, I got some TAC. Of course my XRP to pay for them toll fees. You know I keep my keys. No, I'm not a Freemason, so don't call me my G. No sirree, Bobby Hemming. No Egypt, more like Kemet. I said we the real Jews. They said I was anti-Semitic. No sirree, Ricky Bobby. I ain't racing no zombies. Neither pocket watching. XR paid is my hobby. No sirree, Bob Marley. Young dreadlock Rastafari. Out the trenches for real. Triangular trapping tsunami. No sirree, Bob Dylan. This industry want my spirit. Think it's cap if you want. Go watch him on 60 Minutes.
Raise capital for the month, add value for the month. Roadblocks in front of us, so hot in the summer months. Dealing with a lot to sum it up. Thinking it's a lot, think again. Lock when linking in. I'm pinching in slow motion, pinching in. Is you listening? 50-50, this is sinking in. I'm just that cat they taught to be a fisherman. I had a lot of lessons I've been mentioning. Even traditions not out of the question. And an affiliation not represented, actor defended, but nothing definitive sentiment. Intimate, friendly with benefit, given the ism before even Genesis. Genesis seems to be difference in sentences. Gentrification, project's tenements. About a project protecting the innocent, under the radar, avoiding detection. Where the Russians influence elections. Discriminant voter suppression. Aggressive border protection leads to another undeniable impression. Especially individuals affected. Best to leave a sleeping giant. You could be defeated if you feel the need to really be defined. You should be reading the fine print for the upload on your content and your palm prints. Before you don't think in this nonsense, is you ready to deal with the consequence? All finessing, not a question. The soul richness and all possession intensifies, never